good evening, and welcome to Tea Time.
Welcome to Tea Time. I'm so glad you're joining me tonight. Hey, listen, I'm going to talk about my weekend real quick, and then I'm going to get to my guest. Unfortunately, he's not in studio because he doesn't live in New York and he's not here, but I'm excited that he's with me tonight. Okay, so you ready? All right. Friday night, I had dinner at a place called The Shed in Westbury with my girlfriend Doreen and her cousin Michael, which was very nice. It was a little impromptu thing, and it was lovely, and we had a nice time. And then Saturday night, I was with my wonderful friend of 40 years, Matthew Ponzo. There's a picture of us. There we are. There's a place in Brentwood that does an open mic every third Saturday of the month, and he was able to get up and sing an original song. So I got to spend his birthday with him. I was so excited. And then Sunday, you know, is laundry day because we all need clean underwear. And it was my niece, Victoria Canastrasi's Sweet 16. And there she is. I love her so much. And then there's a picture of her and I together. There we are. Yay. So Miss V is 16. She did not want a big Sweet 16 party. She wanted to go to England. She wanted to go to London. And she went and she loved it. So we just had like a little soiree barbecue in the backyard. All right, that's my weekend. I really have nothing else to announce, except this weekend I'll be filming in Albany, which I'm excited about. Can't give anything else away except that. And I sent in an audition and I let go and I let God, and let's see what happens. So listen, I'm excited because I have a friend joining me who I haven't seen since he did leave New York. He's an actor, he's a writer, he's a comedian, he's also a cinematographer now, added to that resume. So Nigel Fullerton is joining me. Hello, my friend.
Hey, what's happening?
What's going on? I'm so excited you're on.
I'm excited too. I've been wanting to be on here for a long time. I've watched you have all of my friends on, and I got a little jealous. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I got a little jealous.
Well, let's give a shout out to Mark Mendoza, Mark the Animal Mendoza from Twisted Sister, because I know you caught that show, and that wasn't that long ago. But I know you had him on your show a while ago.
That's my buddy. I used to do a show with him.
I know you did the show together.
We used to do a show together on his network, and I've known him for a good 5 years now.
Yeah.
But I've been on Strong Island TV a dozen times, and I was like, "What?"
You've been in this studio before. I was at the studio.
I have, yes. I've been there. I know Bobby Lazara very well. I love that guy.
I love him too. All right, so listen, I want everyone to get to know you. There's a lot here,
Oh,
you know, but I have to say first, we got to put up some pics when you were a kid because you were freaking adorable. All right, I have like 3 of them. Bobby's gonna put them up. There, sharp dresser back then and sharp dresser now. And let me tell you something. I loving the bow tie. Okay, and
you have that
electric smile. Look at that electric smile. Love it. I love it. Thank you. So we had to go down memory lane and get that over with. But now, did you originally grow up in Amityville?
Yes, I'm originally from Amityville.
You have Hollow Hills High School?
Yeah, I ended up graduating from. It's weird. I know. I moved around a lot as a kid. I moved around a lot as a kid. I went from Amityville. I spent a small time in Wyandanch, and then I went to Half Hollow Hills.
When you were in high school, were you into the arts and theater? Were you into sports? What were you into?
None of the above. I'm what the kids would call a slacker. Yeah, I wasn't like I didn't want to be in school. I would always find excuses. Like I would always go, "Hey, I got to go see the school psychiatrist." You know, my parents are divorced. They never check. My parents are divorced. I'm raging against the machine. Got all this teenage angst.
Well, then you decided to go to New York Institute of Technology, and you studied what, communications there?
Yeah, I studied communications. I actually originally I was at a vocational school, which is known on Long Island, Wilson Tech, and Western Suffolk BOCES, and I learned video production there. So from there, actually, and I know this is not documented, but I had an internship with BET.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, from I believe it was 99 up until 2002.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to basically it was like my senior year of high school. I would leave school, jump on a train, try to get to Manhattan because at the time BT was in Harlem. So
Yeah.
I go all the way uptown and like have to get there by 4 o'clock. And I remember the first person I met there was Shaggy. Shaggy was the first person I met.
Okay.
And he was debuting his new hit single, It Wasn't Me.
Oh, that's great. And you know what? I'm sure you learned a lot there while you were there, because you really get your hands on everything, you see everything. And it's so cool because it's all like behind the scenes.
It's all behind the scenes. I was setting up lights, I was doing cue cards, I was doing audience. Yeah, I was doing a lot of stuff like there, and I was meeting a lot of celebrities. At the time they were famous. I don't think they're famous now, but at the time they were a pretty big deal.
Oh my God! All right, so you decided in 2003 to get into stand-up comedy, right?
Well, yeah, that's an interesting story.
Yeah, I want to hear all about it.
My good friend,
you and I met back in 2015 when I came back to comedy.
Right. So what ended up happening was I was always told that I was funny, and a lot of people thought that I should do stand-up. I was very nervous on doing stand-up. But my good friend John Fudge Rickenbacker, who I worked at Adventureland with, he wanted to be a stand-up comedian, and he was determined to be a stand-up comedian. So around, I want to say 2000, 2001, him and I started doing churches together. And instead of doing actual stand-up, we would do skits, like sketches for churches. Okay. And we would go and do so we would do kind of gospel versions of like classic hit songs that were popular at the time.
Yeah.
And a lot of people liked that. So we were doing it all around Long Island. But one day I found, I think it was like a penny saver or it was something, but it was a casting call for this thing called the Insult Olympics. Okay. And it was run by Tracy Esposito and Darlene Violet. And the host of the show was a person that is famous now, but back then she wasn't famous. Her name is Lisa Lampanelli.
Lisa, yep.
So I encouraged my friend John Fudge Rickenbacker to actually do the show. He killed that night. Then I got jealous and I said, I want to go and kill too. So a couple months later, I think this was in 2003, because I think when we met her, it was 2002. 2003, I get on stage for the first time, March 2003.
And that
was at the Boston Comedy Club.
Wow.
Yeah, there was a comedy club in New York called the Boston Comedy Club. Yep. Where, like all the everybody famous was there, like Chappelle, Colin, like everybody was there. And I go up and I bomb. Like I tank like nobody's business.
Oh no.
Yeah, I did. And sure enough, I bombed all that year until I got on TV later on that year. I got back on BET again.
So you came full circle.
I came full circle that same year. So like even though I was a mediocre new comic, I made it onto TV.
Wow.
Ironically. Yeah.
That's wild. That really is wild. And you know, when
Yeah.
we got a couple of pics of you doing, well, you on stage with
Oh,
the
okay.
microphone. I'm assuming, hello, you doing comedy.
I hope I am.
Yes, there's one, and I think there's one more. Yeah.
As you see, I lost weight since then.
You know, I was going to say, Nigel, you dropped some, we both have dropped some major poundage. And you've played a lot of places in New York. You've played places on Long Island. You've done Manhattan. You were all over the place. You've done a lot of shows. Right now, you're living in LA. You actually moved to LA in, what was it,
2021.
2021, you moved to LA.
Yeah.
Would you like to share why?
I wanted to get out of Dodge.
Okay,
No, I'm joking. I actually needed a change. It was right after the pandemic. My now wife, she was my girlfriend then.
Congratulations, you're going to be married a year, October 1st?
2 years, actually.
2 years, October 1st, 2 years.
2 years, October 1st,
Holy
yeah.
Where did that go? Wow.
Remember when I showed you the ring?
Yes, I do. And I was like, oh, wow. Oh, I remember the pictures of the proposal. I mean, everything was just beautiful and lovely.
Yeah.
2 years, October 1st. I can't get over that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So you wanted to change. A lot of people did a lot of changing after COVID. So I have to ask you, what's the difference as far as the stand-up comedy world? Is there a big difference between New York and LA?
Of course there is.
Well, I know that because I've done it, but I'm asking you.
You know how it is. It's basically it's like starting over, basically. Like you spent so much time in New York and going to this club and making these connections with this person and that person, and then you come to a new world where people are different, people are new. You got to learn the customs. You got to learn what club to go to. You got to hang out at this place. You got to hang out at that place. And California is so spread out. Like, it's not just like, okay, you have your people here. Like, if you got Long Island, you got, this is Long Island, right? You know where everything is. In New York City, you know where everything is. In California, everything is spread out. And it took me a long time to find where the clubs were. It took me a long time to find how to get to places, how to move this way, that way, where to go, and then learn like the area. Because for me, I like to know my surroundings.
I think you have to do a lot more driving there.
You do, but it's also learning the lay of the land. Like for me, I don't know if you do this, but for me, before I go into like a stand-up crowd, I listen to what the people are laughing at. Like I walk around, I try to figure out what kind of crowd this is.
Right.
What is going to make them laugh?
Read them.
Yeah, you have to read them, because if you don't read them, then you're definitely going to go out. If you go out there cold, you're definitely going to freeze. So what I like to do is find out what's going on, and I like to be personal with the people. I like to be like, hey, how you doing? How was your day? But if I know that you're the type of person that somebody already asked that question, I'm not going to ask.
Right. They're not going to revisit it.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
And in LA, it's different, because like there's people who have been three years into comedy and they're already trying to tape their special.
Wow.
Like I met a girl. This is no joke. I met a girl who this was her third special I was watching. I think she was 5 years into comedy. Maybe 5 years. She's younger than me. I think she was like in her 30s or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I was ready. I was like, okay, this is her third special. I'm waiting for me to be bowled over, because she's worked on this and she's crafted this act. And I tell you, when I went there, It was the worst. It was really bad.
It's
And
all
I'm
about
like,
the hype. It's all about the hype.
but she's like, her openers were funnier than she was.
Yeah.
And I was like, why is like I really wanted to root for her. I wanted her to kill because again, for me, because I don't have a special. I've never done a special.
Right.
Want to, but I've never done one.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm like, okay, this is a culmination of all the stuff that I've done over the years, and this is what I made to be special. That's what a special is supposed to be.
You're
Nothing
right.
special.
You're right. And you know what's special? I got to take my first break right now.
Okay,
You stay where you are. Everyone
All
else stay where you are. We'll be back right after this. Don't go away.
Wonder Woman was everything to little girls, especially that look like me. She stands for being a voice for people that need a voice. My organization renovates homes for people with disabilities. And when I come home, a self-care routine makes me feel my best. I'm very proud of the difference that we're making, and to see that impact in my community inspires me to work even harder for everyone around me.
All right. Is everybody having a good time tonight or what? That's what I thought. All right, so we are live, Paradise Studios, New York. Give yourself a round of applause for coming out tonight. Woo!
Well, hi there, Theresa. It's John York from General Hospital. I am just checking in because apparently you have a great talk show called Tea Time on Strong Island TV. I want you to have continued great success and have a lot of fun. It sounds like you're having a lot of fun, and that's pretty much the key to everything, isn't it? So continued success. I'm proud of you. Have a great day, Theresa. Bye.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Tea Time. Hey, listen, it's my birthday month, okay? I turned the big 6-0. I know, it's unbelievable. On September 6th. And I've had my friends send me video birthday messages. And here's one from Butch Patrick, a.k.a. Eddie Munster.
Hey, Theresa, Butch Patrick here. Happy birthday are in order, apparently, wishes. So there you go. Happy birthday to you and many, many more. Hope let's do the show again next year.
Thanks, Butch. Yes, I had Butch on, and he wants to do the show again. So hopefully we'll get him on. He does a lot of traveling during the year. All right, so listen, I'm with Nigel Fullerton. He is an actor, writer, comedian, and a cinematographer. He was a comic in LA for many years and moved to LA after the pandemic. And let's bring him back. Hey, he's back.
Oh my God. I'm amazed by all the guests that you get. Like you're famous. Do you know that?
Listen to me. I keep telling everybody I'm not famous. I'm just popular.
Oh my God. You're like the Sally Jesse Raphael of Long
I
Island.
love you to death, and thank you for saying that. But I can't, everyone's like, you know, you're famous. I'm like, I am not famous. I'm just popular. I've been doing this 5 years, and I love it. And, you know, as long as I keep getting very exciting, interesting, talented guests on my show, including yourself, you know, I'm blessed. I'm just blessed to keep doing this because, you know, I'm a people person and I love to hear people's stories. And I want to get back to your story now because you did comedy, you were doing comedy, you moved to LA. But then I have to talk about your acting a little bit because I have to say, everything I watched, I friggin' loved.
Oh, you watched?
Okay. Yeah, we're going to be showing clips. Okay. So don't get crazy on me now. But you back in 2012 did this thing with Jimmy Kimmel Live.
Yes. Yeah, I did.
And it was and you were called Gas Money.
Gas Money, yeah.
And Alicia Keys is friggin' introducing you. Let's take a look.
On the social media, Gas Money.
Alicia!
Gas Money! We got Doug here. Doug tricked out the family ride. Keep rocking, baby. That's hot. Boss. And Cindy showed Junior the importance of coloring inside the lines. You got a little Michelangelo in your hands right there, baby. And Colin took his youngin' to his first concert. I don't know, man. That is crazy. That ain't boss.
It's so freaking funny. It is hysterical. How did you get that? And I also want to know, because you're SAG, right?
Yeah.
So I want to know how you got that and what got you your SAG card.
Oh, okay. The SAG story is a longer story. What got me that was I was actually auditioning for something else.
Okay.
I was auditioning for, it was a thing for Eddie Murphy. It was a big celebration for Eddie Murphy that Comedy Central was doing.
Cool.
As I'm leaving the audition,
Yeah.
I see this guy. He says, "Hey, would you like to audition for this thing? I think you'd be perfect for it." So I said, "Oh, okay." He gave me these lines, and I went and said them, and did it. And he was like, "Oh, well, let me get in touch with you because I want to put you on Jimmy Kimmel." I was like, "Oh." Then I got a call that Alicia Keys was going to be on there. I was like, I'm definitely doing this.
Oh my God, that's great. That is, I love it. I love it. Then you did 2014, you did something called Nicorette Gum. And that was a short.
Sketch.
You
it
actually
was a sketch.
You actually wrote that.
Yeah, because it was terrible. I did some rewriting on the set because I had to. It was bad. And I've asked for that to be stricken from my IMDb, but they won't take it off.
Let's get to the next one then. You did. There's another TV series you did. We have video from called Ask 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 Holes.
Yes.
And I laughed my butt off. Play it, Bobby.
Wrestling is also the only job where you can curse out your boss, hit him with a ladder, come back to work the next week with a promotion and a belt. Do that to your boss, and the only thing you'll get promoted to is handcuffs.
And a belt.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm dying.
That actually ran for about 4 years. It was a web series that we did with people like I believe Tara Candace Tracy actually was on there as well with us.
Cool.
Emma Willman. A couple of people who are notable names in comedy. Friends. We were friends of them, and we did this show called Ask Holes.
Oh my God!
And there's over 100 episodes on YouTube.
Love it. So check it out on YouTube, people. 2015, you did Hack My Life, which was a TV series, and that was really, really cool. But in 2017, my friend, you had a busy year in 2017.
I tried.
You did Roxanne. Which is a movie actually on Netflix, and that was I can't even read my handwriting. Michael Larnell.
Michael Larnell. Yes.
Right. Michael Larnell, and you played Biz Markie. And
yes, I did.
Some
beatboxing.
Yeah. So we got a video of that too. Play that. It's the Roxanne. No, that's not it. Oh, you don't have it?
Oh no.
All right,
go to Netflix.
He'll look in the videos.
It's okay.
They have to be downloaded, but it was funny. So check that out. No, it was great. I will skip to the next one called The Get Down.
Yeah.
Okay. And that was a TV series. Okay. And that was also on Netflix. And we got the video for that. Oh my God. I'm missing the two of them now. Oh, this is not good. We're going to look.
It's okay. We
got you using commercials. Let's do the Chase commercial.
Behind the team, the coach, the manager, and the snack desk, all using Chase to keep up with their finances. The coach helps save goals here because she saved for soccer camp there. And check this out. The manager deposited a check. Magic. And the snack dad, he's getting paid back. Orange slices. Because this team all has Chase. Smart bankers, convenient tools, one bank with the power of both. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back. All right, so you did a lot of commercial work. Let's talk about that real quick. You did
Yeah, I've done over
commercials
10.
for Chase Bank, which we just saw. You did
Mm.
Comcast, Xfinity. You did NFL. You did ESPN. So you
Mhm.
did a lot of commercial work, which is very, very cool.
Yeah, that's how I started like into doing acting. Basically, I did a lot of commercial work, and then it transitioned into TV from doing that Jimmy Kimmel spot, from doing Hack My Life. In 2016, that's when I shot Roxanne, which
Right.
which was for net. Originally wasn't supposed to be for Netflix, but it has Academy Award winner Mahershala Ali in it. Also, Nia Long is in there as well.
Yeah.
A couple of people that are famous now, and then getting to the Get Down, which was Baz Luhrmann, who directed Moulin Rouge,
Yes.
a whole bunch of other stuff. So, like, that's how. Actually, on the Get Down is how I got my SAG card.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll pull those two up. We'll play it. But in the meantime,
It's cool.
you did Who Shot Biggie and Tupac,
Yes, I did.
and we got a pick. We got a pick of that.
Oh, you got a
We
picture?
got a pick.
Oh.
Let's show the pick. There it is. That is awesome.
Yeah.
That was back in again 2017. You did all three
2017.
of these in 2017.
Yep.
How amazing! They just had on the news today in New York that they're going to be, if I got it right, because I caught it on the way out, but they're going to be selling something with Biggie. I don't know if it's a street sign or something. It has to do with Biggie. I just heard it seriously before I left the house. Some kind of merch going on with Biggie that they're going to be selling was on the news.
I don't know. I think they gave him a street probably a year or two ago.
But I think they're going to be selling the sign or something. I don't know. I caught it, like I said, I caught it on the way out. I'm gonna look into it again. But when I heard it, I thought of you.
Oh, okay.
It's wild. All right. You also did an indie, Anna Marina, it's called Independent Woman.
Yeah.
And you played the bodyguard. Let's see that one.
My bodyguard and personal assistant. He basically saves my ass from missing meetings or studio sessions or crowds of tourists touching me. He's basically my bestie.
Been with Anya for like 3 days now. Like before you guys got here today, I caught her talking to a toaster. A toaster.
I guess you could say the record label and I had what you could call a conscious uncoupling.
An unconscious what? She was awake the whole time. She got kicked out like a horse at a donkey party.
I have to say, you've played straight and you've played comedy. Which one do you prefer?
Anyone that pays.
That's the right answer. That's the right answer. But I have to say, Nigel, you're just naturally funny. I mean,
Oh, thank you.
Everything I watched, it was great, but you're just flawless in comedy. You just are.
Oh, you are. Get out of here.
No. All right. How often do you get back to New York, my friend? And do you get back here at all?
I've been probably, I think since I've left, probably like 5 or 6 times.
All right.
But it's always in and out. I can't see everybody. It's hard.
That's the thing. Well, next time you're in, you got to let me know so you can sit next to me.
Oh, definitely.
Definitely want you in studio.
Definitely. Oh, man, I'm happy. I want to be like Doc Gooden sitting right next to you. Like I want to.
I want to get him. He's living in Glen Cove now.
Oh, is he?
Yes, he is.
Interesting. All these people answer your phone calls. You get happy birthday messages from Rain Pryor.
That is my black boyfriend. You know that? He is. We got a little thing, me and Doc. You know what I mean? We got to keep it down low, though.
That's hilarious.
I'll get him here. I just need Carmine to pick him up for me. 2018.
Okay.
Did 2019. You did Labeled, which was a TV series.
It's actually the spinoff for Anya Marina Independent Woman was actually the spinoff for Labeled.
Yeah, because you played LeVar. You played the same character.
Right. It was. I just played the same character. It was like only one episode of that one. But actually, Anya Marina Independent Woman is actually a Warner Music exclusive. Warner was trying to get into doing web series,
Yeah.
and that was one of their first like licensed content that they wanted to do. And Anya Marina is actually, it's her birthday today, but she's actually a world renowned singer.
Oh,
She
wow.
tours. She tours with Nikki Glazer actually.
Oh, that's amazing. Do you
Yeah.
speak with her often?
Do what?
Do you speak with her at all?
Yeah, of course. We still stay in touch.
Good, you
Definitely.
wished her happy birthday. That's cool.
Yeah, of course I did.
Awesome. I'm assuming she's out there. She's out there, or is she in New York?
She moves around. When at the time she was in New York, but she moves around. Her and Nikki Glazer are actually roommates, or they were roommates at one point.
Yeah. Because
And
you
like,
shot a lot in New York when you were filming with her,
yeah.
which was very convenient.
And we got to meet Kate Walsh.
Yes.
Yeah, Kate Walsh is actually in the show as well.
Yeah.
She has an episode. It's actually a really fun show. You can
Listen,
catch
I
it
have
on
a picture
YouTube.
with you and this comedian, this guy. I think his name's Robert Townsend. There he is. Now, I love Robert. Okay. I've always loved him from the get-go. Tell me about that picture. Where did you meet him and how'd that happen?
That was at the African American Film Festival. He was doing a seminar on how to pitch movies, and I went to talk to him, and I told him, I'm influenced by you, and I'm a stand-up comedian, and all this stuff, and I really want to take a picture with him. And he gave me some wise words. He gave me, a lot of good feedback and a lot of good advice, and I'll treasure that forever.
Yeah, yeah. It's nice when they take the time out. When I first started stand-up back in the early 90s, I was at a comic strip, and it was late. I mean, it was late. And in walked Chris Rock walked in.
Okay.
And I got bumped. But if I'm gonna get bumped, I don't care if I get Chris bumps me. But after, because you know me, I'm not shy. I walked right up to him and I said, I'm just starting out. Is there any, advice you could give me? And he sat down with me for like a good 5-10 minutes.
Did he?
He was really, really nice, like sweet man. And it's like, I remember that and I appreciate it because there are people out there that won't do that.
He's different now. Like he's
in the 90s. You have to remember that was a long time ago.
Right.
I'm sure he's a lot different now.
He's very awkward. That's what I mean by that. Like he's very awkward. So I don't like he doesn't really like mingle with a lot of people. Like I know
he doesn't. But I was surprised that he really did take the time out and talk to me, really, because he didn't have to. He really didn't. Was there any other? We're gonna get to your podcast as far as goes, but growing up, who did you enjoy watching doing stand up?
Ooh, it changed a whole bunch of times. Honestly, I know this is taboo now, but I was a big Bill Cosby fan.
I know.
And then it switched from, Bill Cosby. I listened to some Pryor. I listened to Eddie Murphy. I think one of my first comedy albums was Richard Pryor Wanted. That big 45 with like it's black and white. That was one of my first comedy albums I ever listened to. But Eddie Murphy is probably the biggest influence I've ever had. First time I've seen his movies prior to this, but the movie that made me want to do stand-up comedy was actually Nutty Professor. Ironically.
Really?
Yeah. I tell people this all the time. Like it was Nutty Professor that made me want to do stand-up. Like before that, I didn't know that I wanted to do stand-up.
Right.
It was like watching. There's a scene with him and Dave Chappelle, and they're going back and forth, and they're doing jokes back and forth. You see them on stage, and for me, watching that, like I identified to that with that movie, but that scene in general made me say, "Hey, I could probably get on stage too."
Yeah. And I'm glad you did.
I'm glad I did too.
2021, you did something called Rejection Redo, which was also a movie, right? You played T. Winner.
Yeah, if you call it a movie. I believe Devin Bramble is in there as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my God. There's another name I haven't seen. You know what it is? And I have to tell everybody, listen, when you're a comic, there are places that you go in between doing shows to practice your craft and your material, to try out new material. It's called an open mic. And and we used to go to Coasters. Coasters was our go-to place. And when you were, but you really were all over, Nigel. You really were.
Me?
You covered. I don't think there's a place you didn't cover when you were doing stand-up.
Oh. I have a whole bunch of people that say differently.
You were Coasters. You were at Governors. You were comic strip, stand-up New York, Gotham. You were all over.
I tried. I didn't know there was comedy clubs on Long Island when I first started, so I stayed in the city. A lot of people didn't know that I was in Long Island until like 2015, 2016.
Yeah, when we met, because when I started in the early 90s, I was more in Manhattan back then than I was on Long Island. But there were a lot, there are 3 clubs on Long Island now. There were a lot more in the early 90s. There was
early 90s
comedy. There were Richie Menavini's club was, East Side was
East
there.
Side.
And that's where Eddie started.
Mm-hmm.
Which we're gonna get into, but yeah, there were a lot of clubs back in the day, and but like I said, you hit. I don't think there's a place you didn't hit while you were here.
Yeah, I don't think there was a place I did.
No, and then that's what we do. That's what we do. Now, there was something in 2023 you did called Rap Shit.
Yeah, on HBO.
Series, and if I say rap caca, it's not the same thing, but I'm only going to say it once so we can put this on Cablevision.
Exactly.
And you played a conspiracy theorist, and that's actually on HBO Max. It was on HBO Max.
It's on HBO Max. Yeah.
Between HBO Max and Netflix, hello, my friend.
I try.
This is huge. This is big. Seriously.
Yeah, I try.
Now, coming up. Because I did say you had a little hand in cinematography. There's a short that you did called The Great Relationship.
Yeah, it's a movie that we never got to finish, basically.
Okay.
We shot it a long time ago, and it's still pending. I think that I spoke to the director the other day, and he's still trying to put it out. And I'm like, okay.
That's what happens sometimes. There's 2 things you need when you do something. And that's usually a name to draw the crowd and distribution.
Right.
But as long as it's still alive and it's still throbbing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's always hope, and that's what's really important. You gotta keep things going. Speaking about going, I'm gonna take my last break. And Nigel's going to stay right there, and you're going to stay right there. And we're going to be back after this. Don't go away.
Hi, I'm Georgia Rose, founder of Zenkuda. You can watch me on the Soul Space podcast every Friday at noon on Channel 20 for spiritual guidance. And as you all know, that is how I first opened into my own psychic gifts, was through the angelic realm, astrology. So we've got Mars and the Sun together in Scorpio, which creates a lot of combustion. In the astrological world, we call that a kazemi, and tarot. With the 4 of Cups right side up, it means we have a lot of choices to make, and we're not looking at what's really being divinely given to us. We're too busy in the busyness of the choices to really see the divine intervention, the divine timing, and the divine guidance. We're the place. Watch the Soul Space podcast.
How you doing? It's Sal the Voice Valentinetti. Why are you watching me? You should be watching Theresa Canastraci Tea Time with Theresa Canastraci Farrell. And make sure you follow Theresa on Facebook. Tea Time with Theresa Canastraci Farrell. We'll see you there.
I love the way you say my name. I love. Yeah.
Who's the best comedian you know?
Theresa Farrow.
And who's the best actress you know?
Theresa Farrow.
And who's the best cast member in Bad Boys?
Teresa Farrow.
Who's got the best radio?
Teresa Farrow.
Stop. Who's your favorite guinea?
Teresa Farrow.
Who are you loving right now?
Teresa Farrow.
All right, Duck. I love you too, baby.
Love you as always.
Thank you.
Doc, who's your favorite guinea? Teresa Farrell. And you know who one of my favorite LA comedians are? An actor, Nigel Fullerton. There he is. Woo-woo.
Hey.
Oh my God, I am having such a blast with you. I swear to God, I can't wait to come back to New York and you're sitting next to me. So listen, so there's just so much going on with you. Do you have anything else that's coming up that I do not have on this piece of paper in front of me?
Right now there's some stuff in the works that I can't really talk about as much.
Yeah.
Plus I've taken a couple months off because I was in a bad car accident. So
Yes, you were. I wasn't going to mention that, but since you
it's okay.
How are you doing?
I'm good. I lost weight, so I'm good.
That's what came out of the accident. You losing weight.
Yeah. It wasn't Ozempic.
Listen to me. I'm just glad you're here talking to me and you're okay, because it wasn't no accidents, a good accident. Obviously, it was a major accident, and I'm just glad you're okay.
Yeah.
It was scary for a while.
Yeah, it was a little scary, but I mean, I was in the hospital for about a month. I was in a cast for over 12 weeks.
Yeah.
But now,
food sucks. So that's how you lost all the weight in a month, huh?
That and just I had to sit down for a while. Like I couldn't do anything. Like I couldn't really walk. Like I had to learn how to walk again.
Yeah, it's scary. It's scary, and you really, you realize, without your health, you have nothing.
Right.
Really, you could have all the money in the bank and you could live in the biggest mansion in the world, but it doesn't mean anything if you don't have your health.
Right.
Definitely. Hey, Bobby, we have that video? No. Okay, it's still downloading. Okay. So let's talk about your podcast. Okay.
Sure.
Because you do a podcast, which is dedicated to Mr. Eddie Murphy.
Yes, ma'am.
And it is called the Murphy Monday podcast.
Yes.
And when did you start this?
I started that back in 2020, actually.
Okay, and it is the first and only podcast that celebrates Eddie Murphy's career and life. And, and like I said, we talked about how he started with Richie Menavidi and Eastside Comedy Club out
Which
here.
I've never gotten on the podcast. I've asked him, and he kind of blew me off. So right now I'm saying, Richie Menavidi, I need you on my podcast.
I'll make a call for you. Don't worry about it.
Mike Keegan said he made a call. I don't know how the Italian thing goes.
Keegan doesn't have these.
I thought he was my consigliere, right? That's how you say it?
Keegan, it's not Italian. Okay. But I will hook you up with Richie. Eddie. Okay, so now you ask people what's their top 5 Eddie Murphy movies, correct?
Yes, all the time.
I'm not asking you your top 5.
What's your top 5?
I'm going to ask you. No. First of all, we got a picture. We have 2 pics. Okay. Bobby, you want to put them up, please?
Oh,
we got the pic of the podcast. Hello? You there?
There we go.
Look at you.
Look at me.
Red leather vinyl.
Oh, yeah, that's my face on Tracy Morgan's body.
And then we have the other one of Eddie and now his movies. Now, leave that there a second, please. Mm-hmm. All right, you've got a plethora of his movies there. There are a few that are missing. Thank you, Bobby. And I will tell you the one that is missing that is my favorite.
Which one?
Okay. Trading Places.
Okay. Why is that your favorite?
It's my favorite movie because A, every time I watch it, I laugh as if I'm watching it for the first time.
Okay.
B, I love when Eddie plays other characters, which he got to do, not as much as Coming to America, but he plays, other characters in there, whether he's blind or whether he's in the train with Dan. It's hysterical. I crack up every time I think of it. Anyway, it's like one of my favorite movies. Every time I watch it, I enjoy his performances no matter what he's in. I think he always brings something different to the table. But that one particular movie, I can watch it over and over and over again and laugh like I've never seen it.
Did you know that movie wasn't for Eddie Murphy?
No.
Or Dan Aykroyd. It was for Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, there's a little trivia that I learned tonight. Thank you for sharing that. So I'm going to ask you top 5. I'm going to ask you your numero uno.
If I had to give you my numero uno, it would be Nutty Professor.
Okay, well, I figured you were going to say that.
Yeah, it would be, and then for all the reasons, like I told you, when I decided I wanted to be an actor, it was that movie that made me do it because I watched him do all those characters. Now I've seen him do characters in Coming to America, but for me, it hit more home where you have more a fleshed out family. Like he's in a scene with his whole family playing characters. It wasn't like that in Coming to America.
Yes. And people were in shock about how many characters at the end where they do the creds, Eddie Murphy. Right. People were in shock when they saw that. They were like, oh my God, he played what? A white old Jewish man? What? I mean, it was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he could do anything. He really can.
And that's why I did the podcast, because a lot of people stopped saying his name, and I'm like,
really?
Yeah.
So what's your number 2 after Nutty?
Honestly, it's changed over the years, but if I really wanted to pin down and say it, it would have to be Dolomite Is My Name.
That was good too.
Yeah. And the reason why I say Dolomite Is My Name is because for artists like us, we get told no all the time.
Yep.
We get doors slammed in our faces. So for a movie that shows you a man that gets the door slammed in his face every single time, and he still rises above, still able to keep doing and keep going, that's aspirational. Like for me, I'm like, I remember the old Dolomite movies, they sucked. But if you think about the behind the scenes of it, it's like, wow, like like he really brought a different spin on who Dolomite is. And that's why Dolomite Is My Name is, like, I would say number 2.
Too. I appreciate him in more serious roles also.
Mm-hmm.
Even Dreamgirls. I mean,
I think for comedic actors, as they age, they go from comedy to drama. If you look at Bill Murray, if you look at Steve Martin, Jim Carrey,
even Billy Crystal.
Right. They have to grow and evolve. Like I can't see, like, even though we had Beverly Hills Cop 4, I couldn't see Eddie Murphy being Axel Foley from 1984.
Right.
That's not my picture.
Right. No,
I didn't do that.
I don't know what happened. Bobby, we good? Bobby, there we go. Hello. I know he's playing around. He's got new toys.
Yeah, I got this. Okay.
Like, where'd Theresa go? Bobby, got that video?
Nope, not yet. It's okay.
All right, listen, we have 5 minutes. So when it loads, let me know. Maybe we can play it before we end.
You send it Messenger, right?
No, I sent it to your phone. Check your phone.
Sorry, I got a quick story for you.
Go ahead.
I got a quick story for you. Remember Richard Jeni?
Yes.
So Richard Jeni taught me a very special lesson when I was an early, like, young comedian. I was like 19. Richard, this is before he did the Steaming Pile of Me stand-up special. I'm at Broadway Comedy Club. I think it was called the Improv at the time, and he's going to perform tonight, and I don't know who he is. I'm like 19. I don't know who he is. I'm like, who is this guy? He's been doing comedy for 20 years.
Yep.
Oh, I don't want his bad comedy to rub off on me. And I'm saying all of this stuff, and I'm just like, and they're like, well, he was in The Mask. I'm like, The Mask? How long ago was The Mask? So for me, I'm so cocky, I'm so arrogant, and man, I bombed that night. And then after I bombed, this guy, Richard Jenny, took me to school, and he just bit by bit, joke by joke. He was such a great comedian. And I always remember that to this day, like never to be cocky, never to treat somebody away. Like everybody's time takes time. So whatever time it takes for you,
you're on your own. Everyone's on their own timeline.
Yeah.
And some people it happens quicker than others, but my saying is let go and let God, because whatever's going to happen is going to happen. We can make a plan for tomorrow. It doesn't mean that that's going to happen tomorrow.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's the bottom line. It's just there. I have to say too, also, when just to go back to your podcast real quick, because I left this out and I have it written down. You start your podcast off by the theme of Beverly Hills Cop, right?
I do. Yeah.
Yes, I dance too every time I hear it.
I do dance.
It's an iconic theme.
It is, and I've had such great people on there. I've had one of the writers from Saturday Night Live when Eddie Murphy first got on.
Nice.
I've had one of the big Barry White guys from Trading Places. He's been on the podcast as well.
Yes.
I had the guy from Coming to America. That boy good. I had him on the podcast. So like I've had a lot of people, and I've gotten a lot of guests on there as well to talk and just share. It's basically for Eddie Murphy fans.
So
if
now
you want to go,
it says Monday, but when do you put it out on a Monday? Do you record on a Monday?
So right now, I'm kind of in a hiatus because I want to see.
All right.
I want to see what people want to hear, and it's evergreen.
I did that for the month. I did that for the month of August. So
yeah, it's evergreen.
I got to cut you off for a quick second because Bobby gave me the thumbs up, and we have the scene from the Get Down. So let's take a look.
Okay.
Keep on keeping on and keep on trucking.
No Get Down brothers allowed. Zulu Nation knows all about what happened over at your little club. So I'll give you to the count of 10. If you ain't out of here, I'm going to break your face. 1.
My bad. Rabbi, let's sit.
That looked like another great scene to film.
It definitely was. We shot it in the Bronx. I believe Jaden Smith, Will Smith's son, is in that show as well. Giancarlo Esposito was in there. Jimmy Smits. It was a great show.
I got to meet Esposito. What a sweetheart.
Yeah,
nice
definitely.
Guy. Nice guy. All right, so listen. So when you return, and I want everyone to know, it's Nigel Alexander Fullerton on Facebook.
Yes.
And it's Nigel Fullerton _ on Instagram. So I want everyone to go there, see what he's doing next, what he's up to. When you start up the podcast again, let me know. I'll put it out there and share, stuff as well. We got a minute left. This went so fast. What else do you want to say or add before we have to say goodbye?
Thank you for having me. God bless you, and good night.
15 seconds to go. All right, listen, I just want to thank everyone for watching. Unfortunately, we were having a little problem with Facebook the last week. So right now we're live on YouTube, and this is going to go to Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Twitch TV, Apple TV, everywhere podcasts can be heard. Seen this Saturday at 10 a.m. on Channel 20 for people who live on Long Island and get Optimum TV. I will be sharing the show. I want everyone to know Nigel, get to know Nigel. Follow Nigel. Don't stalk him. Just follow him. See what he's doing, because everything he does is superb, from comedy to acting. I mean that from the bottom of my heart, my friend.
Well, thank you.
I love you. I love what you do. I'm going to end the show now. You're going to stay there, but I'm going to say goodnight to everybody and tell everyone I'll see you next week. And remember, tell everyone you love them. Ciao, everybody.